Hi, so my birthday is March 5th, 1998. So my month and my year I researched was March of 1998. I found a lot of cool facts, just pretty much just like random ones from the month of 1998 of March. Uh, One of them was that data sent from the Galileo spacecraft indicates that Jupiter's moon, which is called Europa, has a liquid ocean under a thick crust of ice. I thought that fact was super cool because I didn't really know that Jupiter had ice on it. I've never really thought about it. I also thought that fact was really cool because if you think back to like 20 years ago, from 1998 until now, our technology with being able to capture what like planets and stars in space look like is probably a lot more advanced now. So I think it's cool that even 20 years ago we were able to take pictures of what's in space. Another fact I found was that in March of 1998, the British Union flag was flown over the Buckingham Palace for the first time. Something else I found interesting was that a Screen Actors Award for Gloria Stewart, who is the person who plays Rose in the Titanic, she won the Founders Award. I thought this was cool because Titanic is one of my favorite movies, so it was a fun fact for me to learn. Also, Sound of Music opened for the first time at Martin Beck Theater in New York City. Another fun fact I learned was that an earthquake that measured 6.4 on the Richter scale hit southeastern Iraq. That's obviously a really big earthquake, and the fact did say that it killed about 500 people, which is huge. Another fun fact I found out was that Pope John Paul II asked God for forgiveness for the inactivity and silence of Roman Catholics during the Holocaust. I thought this fact was really cool because I've been seeing with the current Pope right now, especially with the LGBTQ community, that the Pope is very forgiving and accepting towards that community. And I saw this video about this little boy whose parents, how he grew up and his parents weren't really religious, and he asked the Pope for forgiveness, and he obviously gave his blessing. So I thought that was cool because I thought that this Pope right now, it was like super out of the blue or super weird that he was forgiving and giving all these people his blessing. But I guess not in March of 1998, so that's pretty cool. Another cool thing I found was about Detroit was that Tampa Bay, the Devil Rays, their first game was in Detroit against the Tigers, so it's kind of cool. Another interesting fact was that there's a bridge called Vasco da Gama. I probably said that wrong, but it's a bridge that opened in Portugal, and it's the longest bridge in Europe, which is cool. Some other few facts from a different website now. I learned, Bill Clinton was president in March of 1998. Let's see. A very popular song in the U.S. was Getting Jiggy With It by Will Smith. And then in the UK, My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion was in the top 5 hits, which probably ties back to Gloria Stewart, which was Rose in the Titanic. So My Heart Will Go On is in the Titanic, so those probably kind of link together. And then, so March is very popular for March Madness. So I researched who won for the month of March in 1998, and it ended up being University of Kentucky, which is cool. And then from my third website that I researched, I found that the first woman Space Commander was named. I researched her name and nothing came up. Or I researched for her name and I couldn't find out what her name was. But that's cool that it's the first woman in space and she was a commander. And for medical purposes, they found that vitamin E found to cut prostate cancer risk, which is pretty big because obviously cancer is one of the leading causes of death, so that's a cool preventative that they figured out. And then for my last website that I researched, in March of 1998, the 7th Paralympic Winter Games opened in Japan, and the annual dog sled race began in Anchorage, Alaska. So I found some pretty cool facts from the month of March for 1998. I definitely have never really researched what went on the month that I was born. So it was a cool research project. Thanks.